Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Emily Kurth, and I am the Senior Campaign Specialist here at Realityworks. I'm so excited to have you all here today as we dive into a topic that's not only crucial, but also deeply meaningful: geriatric sensitivity. As our population ages, the need for skilled professionals in geriatric care continues to soar, making it more important than ever to equip our students with the tools and empathy needed to excel in this field. So let's dive in. Over the next 40 minutes or so, we'll discuss who Realityworks is and why we do what we do. We'll talk about today's students and the characteristics that make them unique and which are spurring changes in teaching methods. Then we'll discuss the need for geriatric sensitivity and review 5 teaching strategies, from discussion ideas to hands-on learning aids, that educators can use to engage their students and help them develop this important skill. Well, first, we'll start off with a quick 30-second introduction to Realityworks for those of you who aren't familiar with us. We are an employee owned company based in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, that creates experiential learning tools for teaching job and life skills. We actually got our start over 20 years ago when former NASA engineer Rick Germain created the very first Real Care Baby infant simulator and then went on to found the company that's now Realityworks. Today, our training tools combine curriculum with hands-on learning experiences, student activities, and assessments. Real Care Baby is still around, but now you can look to us for tools like bovine birthing and ultrasound simulation for agriculture programs, or virtual reality welding simulators for welding programs, and of course, wearable geriatric sensitivity suits and other cool tools you can use to teach topics like the one we're discussing today, geriatric sensitivity. If you've got some time, we encourage you to check out our website and see everything we offer. So let's start with a discussion of the faces of career and technical education today. Who are today's students? Well, today's students are digital natives. This describes individuals who were born after 1997 and are therefore members of the post-millennial Generation Z. The oldest of this group are in their mid 20s, but the youngest are the age of my oldest child, about 9. They're considered digital natives because they grew up with technology. They've never known a world without smartphones. And this unique relationship with technology is shaping their experiences and their behaviors and their expectations in various domains of life, including education. In fact, currently about 20% of the US population, or 68 million Americans, belongs to Generation Z, according to the most recent Census Bureau data. And while over a third of them either hold jobs or are self employed, they're in that early to mid 20s range, 51% are still students. And it is important to note that these students are different from millennials. They're different in how they learn and how they view the world. Millennials, if you know, were born in a world without the prevalence of social media platforms and computer technology. I myself am an older millennial. I can still very distinctly remember not having a cell phone. Millennials like myself witnessed the evolution of technology, while Gen Zs, like your students, were born and raised immersed in it. And that difference is a double-edged sword. On the one hand, Gen Zs seem to be experts in technology to the point where they need minimal management. I know that's true of my son. However, on the other hand, their generation is characterized by a lack of concentration, which is deeply affected by smartphones and social media trends. So here's a chart that shows a descriptive comparison by generation and learning preferences. I know it's small on your screen, but we'll share all of our slides after today's presentation so you can reference this later. What I want to highlight quickly here is the far right column in the yellow square. It's Generation Z's get it now, do it now, and learn it now mindset. Today's students prefer visual and interactive, bite-sized, hands-on learning experiences, which is really great to know because, of course, knowing how this generation prefers to learn, we can adjust the way we teach. So how do you teach Generation Z? Well, you want to give your students more than just the textbook. Add in group work and activities. If you have to use PowerPoint slides, incorporate quizzes or hands-on demos every few slides. Seek out project-based learning opportunities like internships, and of course, provide those interactive hands-on learning opportunities. That's the thing we here at Realityworks have heard overwhelmingly from educators. Today's students are used to having something in their hands, whether it's a cell phone or a fidget spinner. And if you can put an awesome hands-on tool in the place of one of those other gadgets, they're going to pay attention. So let's focus now on geriatric sensitivity in particular. Research shows that a few key trends are currently happening simultaneously. First, the number of older adults across the globe is increasing. People around the world are simply living longer. Today, most people can expect to live well into their 60s and beyond, and this is happening all over the globe. Here in the US, the research shows that by 2030, so really in just about 6 years or so, 1 in 6 people in the world will be aged 60 or over. And by 2050, the world's population of people aged 60 or older will double. That'll go from 58 million individuals in 2022 to 82 million individuals by 2050. So the number of older adults around the world is increasing. That's trend number one. Trend number two is that demand for healthcare jobs is growing. Not new news to anyone on today's presentation, I know. But the US Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that overall employment in healthcare occupations is projected to grow 13% from 22 to 2032, excuse me, which they deem much faster than the average for all occupations. This increase is expected to result in about 2 million new jobs over the next decade. Plus, opportunities are continuing to arise from the need to replace workers who leave their jobs permanently. So, the US Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that in that case, about 1.9 million job openings each year on average are projected to come from those growth and replacement needs. So, lots of healthcare jobs expected over the next decade. And a final trend that's meaningful to this discussion is that employers are continuing to report the need for employees with soft skills like empathy. Of course, soft skills topped employer wish lists before the pandemic, and they continue to do so. Nearly 3 in 4 employers say that they have a hard time finding graduates with the soft skills their companies need, and educators agree as well. Almost half of academic institutions believe that recent graduates lack the life skills needed in the workforce. This is according to a 2020 Society for Human Resource Management survey. And in healthcare settings, of course, soft skills are even more crucial. Undeveloped soft skills can lead to medical errors, unhealthy or unproductive work environments, job dissatisfaction, and those unfavorable patient survey results, which can adversely affect hospital reimbursement. Skills like empathy are essential, in particular for those working with older adults. Older patients have unique challenges and needs, after all, challenges and needs that require special nursing skills like communication, patience, critical thinking, and mental flexibility. If you look at this list of the top 10 skills you need for working in a nursing home, for instance, most of those skills involve direct patient care. Bottom line is that geriatric sensitivity has really become a key skill for anyone entering the healthcare field. Miranda Kessler is an educator I've worked with in the past who uses our geriatric simulator in her health science program. And she said this once to us, and I've always remembered it. It mirrors that of many other instructors we've spoken to, which is that compassion and understanding are so key to providing care for geriatric patients. If you walk in the shoes of an older adult, you're much likelier to provide more appropriate care because you'll understand the challenges that those daily tasks can present. So let's talk about some strategies that you can use to teach geriatric sensitivity to today's students. Well, our first recommendation comes from a nurse educator here in Wisconsin who's been teaching geriatrics for 25 years. For years, she said she utilized in class cues like body language and eye contact to decipher her students' learning styles as she taught them. And then, as she related to me, it occurred to her one day to simply ask before she began teaching. So now she welcomes each new class of her CNA students with a questionnaire about their learning styles, and their answers help her learn about them before they even start things like clinicals so that she can align their needs to what she has to share with them. For instance, the semester that I was interviewing her for a story, she had learned that most of her students were kinesthetic learners. So she incorporated simple hands on activities whenever possible. In fact, that's where the image on your screen comes from. Those are her students practicing massage on each other shortly after her lesson on the topic. So this is a great tip that you can apply right away if you'd like. We've gone onto the internet and found some great free quiz options. There are many more than this out there, so feel free to explore. But if this is a tip that you want to put into practice right away, try these options. And again, we'll share all of these links in our post-webinar emails. Tip number 2 is to set the stage with a pre-activity. This is an empathy self-assessment that comes right out of a free guide we have on our website, which you can download and access right away using the link on your screen. This empathy self-assessment is our recommendation for kicking off one of our lessons on utilizing our geriatric simulator, but you can use it anytime. You don't need that tool to make the most of this activity. What's great about this activity is that it's designed to get the ball rolling with your students, get them start thinking about the impact of empathy and sensitivity on their own lives, how they interact with other humans, how empathetic are they. It'll just get them thinking. You can set the stage with this activity and then launch into your lesson on empathy and sensitivities. So again, you can hop on our website, download that social emotional learning guide. You'll get some awesome other resources and tips as well, but that empathy self-assessment is one of them. And again, this link will be in our post-webinar slides as well. Our third tip is to add relevancy with real examples. We talked a little bit previously in the webinar about the importance of relevancy to today's students. The more relevant you can make your lessons, the more your students will engage with the content and connect what you're teaching them with their own futures. And this is why Louisiana CTE teacher Jennifer Ebert recommends providing students with real world examples by asking them how they're using soft skills every day. Begin your lesson rather by asking students to share a soft skill they used maybe at their job the day before or at a recent athletic activity, and along with a time that they feel that skill made a difference. Or you can approach it from the opposite angle and have them share a time where they thought maybe soft skills could have helped the situation if maybe they were a little stronger. These examples are particularly helpful, of course, if they come from students who have part-time jobs as CNAs or in other healthcare professions. But even learning how empathy helps students relate to a customer at their job serving fast food will get them thinking about how these skills apply to the real world, and that's the key here. Tip number 4 is to bring in subject matter experts. Try to find a local nursing home director or a certified nursing assistant or an activities director or someone else that works daily with older adults, and invite them to come into your classroom and talk to your students about the real life challenges and the real life moments that they experience working with these older patients and how empathy and sensitivity impact their jobs. And get your students involved, right? May have them come up with a list of interview questions beforehand so that they come to the interview opportunity active and engaged and ready to talk. Give them that opportunity to question these professionals and then make time to debrief as well. Give them a chance to talk amongst themselves and reiterate some of their key takeaways and talk about what meant the most to them. I would highly encourage you to remember that industry representatives want to help. After all, you're teaching their future workforce. Plus, tools like Zoom and other video conferencing methods make it a lot easier to have someone come into your classroom, even if they just can't find the time to travel to your classroom. Maybe they can hop in via Zoom or some other video conferencing tool. But they're invested in your students' futures just as much as you are, so don't be afraid to ask. And of course, our final tip is to incorporate hands-on learning aids. That's what we do here at Realityworks. We want to make sure that educators have what they need to create engaging learning environments that foster healthcare career exploration and that help your students develop in-demand job skills. And one way to do that is to bring in those cool tools. Give them opportunities to engage in the lessons, offer those hands-on learning experiences, and give them those real-life practice scenarios. Research, of course, backs up the efficacy of these tools and activities, especially wearables and simulators. This image is a summary of a study from Julius Maximilian University of Würzburg on the effectiveness of age simulation. And that study found that 83% of participants were able to empathize with life in old age very well, while 95% of participants had a better understanding of the physical conditions of aging following their participation in an age simulation suit experience. And of course, these days, simulation can be an essential component of your program if face-to-face interaction with real patients is not possible. So it's an awesome way to give your students those real-life learning experiences. So let's dive in. I would like to take a few moments to showcase our favorite tools for teaching geriatric sensitivity. Our first tool is the tool that started it all, as we say here at Realityworks. The Real Care Geriatric Simulator was actually the very first product that we created to address geriatric sensitivity. We actually get a ton of our ideas and our concepts for new products from conversations with educators. And this simulator is a perfect example of that. It came directly from conversations with teachers stating that they needed a better way to help their young, healthy students empathize with the challenges older patients face. This is a great wearable suit that enables students to experience physical challenges like restricted range of motion, stooped posture, and joint stiffness, plus visual impairments like glaucoma and cataracts. And like all of our products, we have included a robust curriculum that includes 9 lessons on topics ranging from geriatrics and gerontology career exploration to visual impairment and declining mobility due to aging. If you'd like to learn more about our geriatric simulator, we've got a great link on the screen right there that links to a blog on this tool, which again, we'll share after the webinar as well. So highly encourage you to check it out to learn more. Our geriatric medication management simulation kit is another great empathy building tool as it gives students a feel for what it's like to juggle multiple medications like so many older adults do. Specifically, students are able to practice opening and dispensing medications while experiencing a loss of tactile sensation, as well as common visual challenges that are common to older adults. So, like our geriatric simulator, this kit also includes curriculum that helps students learn about the challenges and risks associated with managing multiple medications as a geriatric patient. And it really enables them to experience those true to life in the moment, walk in the shoes of an older adult who's possibly living alone and tasked with managing multiple medications. It's a great learning aid. Our geriatric sensory impairment kit is another one. Awesome hands-on tool for building empathy toward older adults. It actually uses 3 interactive components to help students walk in the shoes of older adults. You'll get a hearing impairment simulator, which lets users actually experience tinnitus and high-frequency hearing loss. You'll get a geriatric arthritis simulator that simulates moderate to severe arthritis. And you'll get a geriatric tremor simulator, which uses EMS technology to induce hand tremors. So again, the idea here is to give your students these tools and have them go through the motions of some common daily tasks, like you see on your screen, writing out a grocery list maybe, or opening a pill bottle, or buttoning your shirt. And they'll start to get a feel for how challenging that can be when you're an older adult or you're suffering from various physical and visual impairments. We've got a ton of other geriatric training favorites. We offer a geriatric nursing mannequin, a really cool geriatric foot care model, and new just in the last year is a dementia simulation kit. There's a link on your screen right now that links to all of those tools if you want to learn more. Again, we highly encourage you to hop on our website and learn all the ways that we can help your students develop the skills they need to support and care for aging and geriatric individuals. Now, we've been discussing the importance of soft skills like empathy and geriatric sensitivity in health science careers, but of course, other soft skills are important in health science careers as well. The ability to solve problems, lead teams, adapt to changes, and think critically are often just as crucial as technical knowledge and expertise in healthcare settings. On the slide in front of you are the 10 soft skills that all healthcare professionals need, according to a super recent 2023 LinkedIn article. And we thought this was just a great summary of the skills, in addition to geriatric sensitivity and empathy, that healthcare professionals in particular really need to make sure that they have. So, of course, educators have echoed the skills on this list, which is why we've launched several programs focused specifically on health science soft skills over the last few years. Like the geriatric training tools we recently reviewed, our health science soft skills programs combine interactive classroom activities with lessons and assessments. Many of them use scenario-based learning to offer students lifelike opportunities to practice soft skills within the context of healthcare careers. And our soft skills program for caring for patients with intellectual disabilities, mental illness, or PTSD actually uses a dementia and auditory hallucination simulator to let students walk in the shoes of patients with these experiences. So there's a really great range of soft skills programs focused specifically on health science careers that we offer. So again, the link is on your screen if you'd like to go on our website and learn more about any of those tools. In the meantime, we do want to offer an exciting free asset for you. We recently created a free downloadable classroom poster that addresses these soft skills and others. You can click that link on your screen right this moment, or you can wait to get it in our follow-up email and access your own copy of this downloadable poster. It's totally free. You can print it out, hang it in your classroom, and use this poster to jumpstart conversations about the importance of soft skills, particularly within healthcare careers. So, finally, I'd like to conclude by sharing one final tip, which is to create a geriatric sensitivity workshop. This tip was inspired by a mineral area college nursing program that did exactly that. It actually dedicates one full clinical day to progressing students through a series of geriatric sensory stations. At one point, they used a line of entirely DIY simulators, and then following the workshop's explosion at the college, they decided to invest in some of our own hands-on learning tools, like our geriatric simulator. You can learn how they did that and how they use those tools on our website. That quote is from Sadania Suttles, who is the lab coordinator at Mineral Area College. We interviewed her about her program and some of the logistical opportunities that they took advantage of to offer this workshop to their students. And you can get all of the details by visiting our website. Well, I would be remiss in presenting a webinar on soft skills like empathy and sensitivity if I did not mention a giveaway we are currently offering. February is Career and Technical Education Month, and we're celebrating by giving away one of our soft skills programs. Now, these are not focused on healthcare in particular, but they're designed to be incredibly flexible, intended for use in any classroom to help students develop key employability skills or leadership skills, or even entrepreneurship skills, depending on what your focus is. So, if you're interested in seeing if you might be the lucky winner for this month's giveaway, you can visit our website, enter to win, and see if you might be selected. Winners will be announced March 1st. And that concludes it. Now that we've hit you with all of this great information, you've gotten some tips, you've gotten some information on our hands on learning aids. Now what? Well, we recommend that you download your free poster. Utilize the link on your screen previously or visit our website to access a free poster on health science soft skills. If you use the link on your screen in front of you now, you'll also access a plethora of other posters on health science career opportunities and more. You can also download a free guide on teaching empathy towards older adults using the URL on your screen. You'll hear some of the tips we covered in today's webinar, plus a few bonus tips as well. So definitely an awesome information-packed resource for you there. You can contact us with questions, of course. We are here to help you refresh your program or enhance your focus on empathy and geriatric sensitivity in your students. We'd love to help you get started with any of our geriatric training tools. So with that, I will open it up to any questions.